Hello, you're welcome. Hello, everyone, you're welcome. My name is Esther Adewusi. I'm a teens transformation coach. I partner with parents to help their teenagers to live in purity and break free from all forms of sexual addiction. And to the glory of God, there have been a lot of testimonies. So tonight we are going to be talking about a very important topic: why teenagers act the way they do. Yes, why teenagers act the way they do. And I promise you that after this section, you're going to see teenagers the way they are at this stage of their life. You're going to understand why why they act the way they do, and of course to relate to them properly and to respond the right way. If you have any question, you can drop it in the comment section. I'll be glad to have them. All right, now let's get started. For instance, probably you have a teenager right now as a child, your niece, your nephew, or even probably your student in school, and you just realize that this child is withdrawing, trying to isolate himself or herself, and this teenager is someone that you have always has always been jovial. Whenever they come back from school, they're always friendly, they're always telling you, they have that open mind that they come to you, they open up their mind, they say, oh mom, this is what I went through, or this was what happened in school. And suddenly, all of a sudden, you just realize that this child is now keeping to himself. You realize that this child is not keeping to herself. What can you do? Will you just say, oh well, let me just leave you the way you are, and probably when you are back to your normal sense, you are back, then you can just, you are welcome, ma, I can see you, ma, you're welcome. That's what we're going to be talking about tonight. Why? As you come in, please can you just sign in with your name and Mrs. Olufunke Olaide, you are welcome, ma. You are welcome, ma. Kindly, okay. All right, you can give your comment section and where you are viewing me from. So you see that child. Why is this child acting? Now that child is now moving. Thank you very much, ma. Has now moved from that childhood stage to the teenage stage. Why? Why is it happening? We just tell, oh, what's wrong with you? Some parents will say, oh, what's wrong with you? Now I want you to take this as an example. For instance, you are passing through a building, an ongoing building, and you just see that this child is. You see the building, and you say, is the foundation has been set, the walls are already in place, and you realize that the roof is yet to be set, the wiring is yet to be complete. Will you look at that building and say, oh, what's wrong with this building? No, you won't say what's wrong with this building. Rather you will say this building is yet to be completed. Now I want you to know that that is exactly who your teenager is. Yes, their brain is still under construction. Their brain is still under construction. So you don't tell them, oh, what is wrong with you? Rather, you understand that this is the stage where they are in. Thank you so much, my pastor. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. That is the stage that they are in. And what does that building need? What that building needs at that stage is competent worker. That building needs competent worker to make it to come to completion. That your child, that your teenager that is acting that strange way, in quotes, needs you, needs intentional parenting. And I'm so glad that you are here tonight. All right, let's get started. Why teenagers ask the way they do. Tonight I'll be talking about two parts of the brain that wire these teenagers to act the way they are now. You're welcome. Just sign in with your name. I can see you. I can see 4 viewers already. You're welcome. Please just sign in with your name and where you're viewing me from. Now, the first part is the prefrontal cortex. Yes, the prefrontal cortex is where decisions are made. It is that section of the brain where they are able to make decisions. And let me tell you this section of the brain is not fully developed until their age 25. So that your teenager that is now 13, 14, and you're saying, why is this? It is because the prefrontal cortex that is responsible for why is decision making is yet to be completed. That's why they can even take some risk, and you say, why would we do such a thing? For instance, I saw a particular story about a particular girl She infected herself with the blood of her boyfriend who is HIV positive. And as an adult, you say, are you in your right? Is she in her right senses? How will you do such a thing? But she says she just did it to prove that she's in love, that she loves him. So that stage of their brain that is responsible for problem solving is not yet fully developed. And the next one is amygdala part of the brain. Yes, I've sent it to our parents community. If you're in our parents community, I've sent that. I've distinguished it for us. So that is it. That part of the brain is their emotion. That is where the emotions are. That is where and let me tell you this, that part of the brain is very emotions. That is the center of emotions. And that's why they react in anger. They are full of anxiety. They just want things to be done their own way. They are at the peak of their emotions. So as a parent, what can you do? Remember I said it is the developmental stage of their life. And you, as a parent, like you have passed through that stage, you have to guide them intentionally through that part. You don't just leave them to act that way and just make their decisions on their own, because in few years to come, that part of that brain will be developed and they'll say, oh, my mom didn't guide me. My dad did not guide me appropriately. I'm seeing 4 viewers there. I don't know why I'm unable to. I think some are okay. All right, let's continue. So why do teenagers act the way they do? Number one, identity. Yes, I want you to take that from me. Identity. We have so many factors, but we'll be talking about just 4 tonight. Identity. If you forget to get more details, you can get my book, Before It's Too Late. One of my books, Before It's Too Late. Thank you very much, my Mrs. Owade Kikelomo. You are welcome, ma. Before It's Too Late, Understanding Your Teenagers' Word, Influence, and Language. I mentioned about over 50 slangs that teenagers are using. So the first one is identity. At that stage of their life, they are navigating, who am I? What do I want to become? They can't just figure it out. At that stage of them, they start making decisions on their own. And that child, probably you have a teenager, and that teenager probably you have been getting that teenager clothes and all that. And all of a sudden you just say, Mom, you know what? Yes, I appreciate what you have been doing, but please don't get clothes for me anymore. Whenever you want to get clothes for me, please, I would like to follow you. And I'm like, follow me. Because at that stage, they want to try other means. They want to try different styles. So it's not just about you. It's about that stage that they are in. They're trying to figure out. Some of them, they will even change their friends at that stage. Some of them, welcome, Mrs. Adeyemi, you're welcome. At that stage of their life, some of them can even, let's say, whenever it is time to make decisions, just watch out. When they're in the GS3 class and about to move to the SS1 class, that child knows that, oh, I'm not good in science. I'm not good in mathematics. But because their friends are there, they want to, let me just try and see. They're trying to test that, okay, let me just try if I can do this well. And that will take us to the next section. The next reason why teenagers act the way they do is belonging. I mentioned it in my book, Before It's Too Late, why teenagers act the way, Before It's Too Late, Understanding Your Teenagers' Word, Influence, and Language. And I said it that it is like oxygen to them. As human beings, without oxygen, we cannot breathe. We can't be living. So belonging is like oxygen to them. So they want to associate. They want to mingle with others. So sometimes when you tell them, oh, get inside, probably they're playing with their friends, oh, come on, get inside, it's getting too late. They just, oh, Mom, you are stopping, you don't want me to flow with my friends. You are welcome, ma, Mrs. Okay, let me join. You are welcome. I can see some people trying to join. Mrs. Sholeye, Mrs. Kikelamo, you are welcome, ma. I don't know why you have to request to join. It shouldn't be, please. You can just join. So they just want to. Now, I was thinking about something while paying for this class, and I was like, if Crocs, we know Crocs now as parents, Crocs. If Crocs is acceptable in schools, you will see 90 to 95% students will be putting on Crocs. Yes, That's true now. Are you trying to say something? They'll be putting on Crocs. You know why? Not because some of them really love it like that, but because their friends are wearing it. Yes, their friends are wearing it, so they want to show like, I know what's up now. I know waiting to stop now. So that is why. I remember when I was in school, there was a particular footwear that students were putting on, and some people did not actually get it because they actually love it, but because their friends have it. All right, let me quickly check our parents' community to see. Probably there are some people having challenge with joining. All right, we are good. Because they want what? They want to belong. The next one is what? Autonomy. Yes, autonomy. Autonomy is they want to have a say in their life. They want to feel in charge of their life. Let me put it that way. They want to feel in charge of their life, that I can make decision of my own. Hey, they'll say, oh, especially the boys now, they want, oh, I want to, mom, I'm not grown up now. I can make decisions of my own. And you as a parent, you say, oh, not under my roof. No, not at this stage. You're just 13 and you want to start making, no, you have to still stop it. And they're like, oh, mom, they want to make that decision on their own. Now, I wanted to give you a practical example, probably in your place of work, and you have this boss that's always giving you instruction, that's always telling you what to do, and even if we try to make some contributions, that boss does not listen to you. As a parent, how will you feel? You feel sometimes you can feel frustrated. You can be so sad and just say, oh, this work is so tiring. Even when you know that your contributions will improve the organization. I'm trying to accept some people. I don't know why this is coming up that they have to request to join. It's a public view. Of course, you'll be frustrated. Why? Because your boss is not giving it. You're a teenager. Some parents, the teenagers will say, oh, mom doesn't even listen to me. I remember there was a particular teenager that was very close to me, and sometimes he would just give an instruction and his mom will say, oh, this can't work out. And after trying multiple means, different means to get it done, they say, okay, let me just try and fortunately, his own advice will work, and he say, oh, you didn't listen to me because you thought I am not wise, or you think I'm a small boy. That's what he used to say then. Now he has passed this next phase. So the same thing is applicable to your child. They want to make that decisions on their own. So how about just saying, do this by this time? How about giving them options, giving them alternatives? For instance, you can say time, this place should be washed. Now it is your decision to do it before dinner, after dinner, or tomorrow morning. So it is just to make that decision that if I should choose tomorrow morning, then I may not meet up. I may wake up late. I may be occupied with some other things that would affect washing that place. So they will say, okay. And if they are choosing the morning, they will know that they will have to be intentional. You will say, you as a parent, you will specify that if you don't do that house chores, you won't go to school. So they have the ability to make choices on their own. It may be as little as that, but it will go a long way. You can tell, okay, tomorrow we are going to clean. We are going to do a general cleaning. You can give the time. By that, just try it. Just tell them by 2 p.m. or let me use morning now, by 11 a.m. or by 7 a.m. It depends on probably they're on holiday, whatever time. By 11 a.m., by 8 a.m., we are cleaning this house. By that time, you have told them, and they have it at the back of the mind that, okay, yes, I'm going to do this. So they can easily make choices. As little as that, they can say, okay, mom, I'll join you soon. That's it. So I've mentioned one, identity, belonging, and autonomy. The next one is sensation seeking. Oh, teenagers love this a lot. They want things that can. Remember, I said the amygdala is where the emotions, the center of the emotions. So they want things that will make them happy. They are always that exciting stage and they want things that will just make them to be happy and excited. They want to try new things. They want to explore. And guess what? If probably you are okay, probably there is now let me give a typical example of an excursion. Your the the management of your child's school decide to go on an excursion and all that, and the friends of your child and say, oh, I've registered, my parents have paid for me and all that, and you tell your child, see, we have two options. Now we have just the money of your school fees. We have the money of your school fees, and we have to pay that first. Your education is, you know what your child will choose. Your child will tell you, mom, out of that my school fees, pick out the excursion money. Let me pay for the excursion. I know because they know in their heart of heart that you won't allow them not to go to school. So they'll say, mom, pay for this excursion first, because they don't want to miss out. They want to what? Participate in what their friends are doing. Because their friends are saying, oh, this is what I'm going to put on, this is what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to do, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do. They don't want to miss out. So if you are following, can I just see your response in the comment section? Your name and where you're joining from. Can I get a response? Let me see our community on WhatsApp. Is anyone following? Let me get a response before I proceed to the next section. We talked about why teenagers are the way they do, identity, belonging, autonomy, and sensation seeking. All right. All right, you are welcome. All right, thank you. All right, now let's move to the next section. All right, yes. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Yes, all right. All right, we have just less than 10 minutes to conclude. Now, as a parent, what can you do? Yes, this is what it's not just about. Now, you already know why your teenager is acting the way. All right, thank you, Mom Kikeloma. Thank you very much, ma'am. Yes, Mrs. Stella Adewusi, you're welcome, ma. Thank you very much. I don't know why some people are asked to join my request. I don't know. But can just join. Yes, thank you very much, Mrs. Oluyemi Solagun. Yes, thank you very much from Lagos. You're welcome, ma. All right, can we proceed? Can we proceed to the next section? Can I proceed to the next section? What you can do as a parent. What you can do as a parent. All right, because of our time, because some people will be joining, and I don't want this to be very long. What can you do as a parent? You have to pause before you react. I know, especially African parents, you say, oh, now, I want you to know that we are in a particular age and time whereby you can't parent the same way you were being parented. You can't parent the same way you have. No, things are changing, and you just have to what? Change. Not necessarily change, but to make some amendments. Yes, thank you, Mrs. Shoyele. Thank you very much, ma. You have to just make so you won't lose. Oh my God. So you won't lose these children. I saw a particular post some time ago before I moved to that section about a teenager, a 16-year-old teenager, asking an influencer that, oh, what age should I start having sex? Yes. A teenager asking an influencer online, and she kept asking the influencer online. The influencer have to ask response that you have been asking me this question. Of course, at age 16, sex should not be your priority. You have a great destiny ahead of you. Sex should not be your priority. And she said, oh, the reason why she asked that question is because she's her favorite influencer. The question is that we are her parents. She does not have parents, our guardian, our spiritual leaders, and lots more. So as parents, we have to be intentional. The first thing you have to do is pause before you react. And let me tell you this, your anger may say your mind. Yes, you said, I'm angry with my child. I will say my mind. Yes, you can say your mind, but you won't change your child's mind. I hope you get that. That your anger will what? Will change, will pour out your mind, but it won't change your teenager's mind. So before you react, probably you realize that your child has not been attending to school. Probably they're in the hostel, they're in the boarding school, and you realize, you just decide to give a call to one of that, and you realize that your child has not been attending classes. What will you do? You just go there, Papa, you slap your child, do this. Okay, I know it can be very painful. Yes, it can be very painful. But at that moment, you just have to cool down. Cool down. Just have a seat and talk about it. Because you know what? Your anger can just be for a moment. But that moment of embarrassment, that moment of shame, you can even say, oh, discipline, you can, I remember some parents then they used to say, oh, discipline my child on the assembly ground, do this. Yes, they can discipline, but you know the effects it will have under your child. If you're following, can I get a response from you? Let me see if some people are trying to join. So pause before you react, because you can just say your mind, but that word, of course, some parents will say, I've been shouting, it's not just about shouting. It's about being intentional, making the right things, doing the right things to ensure that they want to get that change that you desire. The next is what? Correct before you connect before you correct. You have to connect before you correct. I give this example a lot. It's about relationship. The relationship between you and your child should be like a door. It should be like a door that open, honest conversation. All right, thank you very much, Mom. Thank you very much, Ma. It should be like a door that will open honest conversations, and is a two way. Is it that the door is shut or it is opened, or probably opened halfway? So it is that honest communication that you have with your child, that relationship that you have with your child, that will help you to correct them effectively. Now, let me give an example. Probably your child attends extra lesson, should be back by 6 or by 5:30, and by 7, after 7, your child is just walking in. The first thing you just throw at that child is, where are you coming from? Where have you been? Have you tried your number? Your phone is switched off. This, and you throw up to 6 or 7 questions. You know what your child will do? You just say, oh, Mom, I'm sorry. No, who will say sorry? That's even if that child is so remorseful like that. A child can just say, I was at my friend's place. I was trying to do my assignment, and can even walk out. And you say, oh, come back here. I'm talking to you. I'm my mother. I'm your father. Now. But have you listened to that child? To even hear before you throw those questions at once. You can start with a conversation as simple as, oh, you are welcome. I've been so worried about you. What happened? Can you see the changes? The first one attacked her. That, where have you been? I've been trying your number. Your phone is switched off. Where have you been? You have been, really, if your child is a girl, you say, you have been moving about with those boys. You have been doing this. I said, Mom, and that child is actually innocent. Maybe innocent. And you just, and compare it to saying, I've been worried about you. The moment you say, I've been worried about you, that child will say, oh, Mom loves me. Oh, Dad loves me. And they will now give their reason. Oh, I'm sorry, Mom. My phone was dead. And at that point, you as an adult, remember I said as an adult, your parental context that is now fully developed to give wide advice, to solve problems effectively. We say, oh, you should have used your friend's phone. At that moment, they will come to the realization and say, oh, that's true. My mind didn't go there. I'm so sorry. Their mind didn't go there. It was not intentional. So we've talked about 2 things you can do. Of course, there are a lot more, but because of our time frame, number 1 is to what? You take your time, pause before you react. The next one is what? Connect before you correct. If you are following, let me just say, If you are following, let me see. Let me see your response. Let me see your response. If you are following. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. 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 Thank you. All right. The last one, last but not the least, is give them a role, not just a rule. Hey, if I should ask some teenagers, oh, can you just tell me some of the rules in your house? They will start listening. Oh, mommy said I should do this. Mommy said I should not do this. Mommy said dad said I should do this. I should not do this. And they will start listening out the rules of the house. And if I should ask, okay, what are some of the roles, probably some responsibilities that they have given to you and that make you feel, remember I said they want to feel in charge. They want to have a sense of responsibility that, oh, yes, I'm valued here. Thank you very much, ma. I'm valued here. So now let me give this example now. For instance, you're a teacher, for instance, and you realize that there is this child that is stubborn, that is always disturbing the class, and he's, what can I do? I thought, okay, now just tell him, call his name. Oh, Tomiwa, write the list of noisemaker for me. You know what will happen? For some moments, that the noise will reduce drastically, because now the chairman, the olori, the head of those noisemakers is the one in charge writing the list of noisemakers. Now the question is that with that noisemaker, with that person that you have given the responsibility, write his name. Of course, you won't want to write his name. He will start watching out. Now, his attention has been shifted from making noise in the class, disturbing your class, to what? Checking out for others who are disturbing your class. The same thing is applicable here. Give your teenagers a sense of responsibility. Let them know you belong to this house. That rule that you are setting, oh, you say, oh, no parents are saying, oh, I have a screen time. Whenever parents want to book probably one-on-one section with me, we talked about some things about screen time, and they have their screen time, and most of them, they say, oh, I just set this time for my child, and they have to follow it. It's a fixed law. How about talking about it together? Set the rules together. Once it's 9 p.m., I don't want to see with your phone anymore. And you talk about it together. The reasons, of course, you have to tell them the reasons. Remember, you have to work with them. Remember, the prefrontal cortex is not fully developed. By the time they start seeing it, the whole, if probably you have noticed it that they have not been sleeping well because they sleep late because of too much time on their phone. Probably they slept by 11, 12, and tell them that the next morning, how do you feel? They start saying, I didn't sleep well, oh, I was not able to do it. I was not able. Some people start saying, oh, the movie I watched, I have it in my dream. When you start telling them this and you're setting the rules, and say, okay, now let's set these rules together. By 9 p.m., you have to put off your phone. You have to submit your phones. No phone in your room. You have to submit it to me. And you know what? When you invite your teenager for such conversation, you'll be shocked. You'll be surprised. They'll say, okay, mom, no problem. Then that means the no phone instruction, it applies to you as well. Hey, you'll be surprised. They'll say, mom, but you praise your phone by 12, by 1, you praise your phone and you start to try to, oh, yeah, that's because I'm working. But at that moment, just keep calm. It's natural for them to try to say, oh, mom, dad, you also press your phone at night. It's natural. Say, you do it as well. Teenagers now. But you have to what? Keep calm. I believe we have been enlightened. Can I get your response as we conclude? Can I get your response? If you have questions, for those that are just joining, you can drop your questions. Let me see our community. Let me see if there's any question. You can drop your questions, please. You can drop your questions. Drop your questions. I'll be glad to receive them. It's been a while, yeah, but I'm glad we're able to make it tonight. All right, so let me get your questions. I'll just give us a few minutes. It's past 30 minutes already. If you have any question, let me just get it and you can. Questions. Of course, the recorded session will be available so that we can go through it. You can follow me on to get updated on our next meeting. And all right, because of our time, we'll conclude this section. Now, remember that those behaviors that your child is having is not what? Is not attitude. You know, some parents, oh, you are giving me attitude. No parents say, my child is giving me attitude. My teenager is giving me attitude. I ask him to do this. He does not do it whenever he's, you know, it is not attitude. It is architecture. I take it again. Those behaviors that you are seeing in that your child, it is not attitude. It is what? Architecture. And architecture means that your child needs to what? Be properly guided. And I've given us the example of that building. So please don't give up on your child. Your child is going through a difficult time. They're not giving you an hard time. You say, oh, this my child is giving me head. This my child is giving me this. This my child is giving me. Yes. But I don't want you to finalize it on that. They are going through, let me tell you this, they are going through hard times themselves because a lot of changes are happening in their body. They can't figure it out. A lot of things, like I said, their emotions, they are that peak of their emotions. So a lot of things are happening in their body, a lot of changes are happening, and they are trying to navigate everything at once. They have their academics to focus on, house choice, relationship, pressure, peer pressure to be in a relationship, and not more. So it is just not about that behavior. It is just about what? That brain that is what? That is developed, that is still under construction. And like I said, when you say something is under construction, you don't say something is wrong with it because it is yet to be completed. So your child needs intentional parenting, and it takes time. That same child, that same teenager that you're looking at now and say, this teenager is giving me attitude, was once a child, remember? And when that child was learning how to walk, did the child start learning how to walk the first day? Of course, no. That child was rising, falling, rising and falling. But when they're rising and falling, do you tell your child to, oh, you have been rising and falling, and just try to discourage your child? No, you don't do that. Rather, you tell your child, okay, this, you encourage that child that, oh, you can do it, okay, just relax a bit, you can try again. Even some of them, while trying to walk, parents can testify, they can even have injuries. But we used to, because of that, okay, no, I love my child so much, I don't want my child to be injured, I will just leave him or her to just remain seated. No. Now, at this stage of their lives, of course, now as a teenager, they have passed that phase of walking. They can now walk, right? Yes. Now, it is that brain that is still developing. And like I've said, it does not get fully developed until the age of 25. So as a parent, you have to be intentional. And of course, I am Esther Adewusi, and I'm here to partner with you in the transformation of your teenager, helping them to live in purity and break free from all forms of sexual addiction. You can contact me on my WhatsApp number 08100554889. I'll be glad to get your response. How was this meeting? I'll be glad to get your response. If you have any question because of our time, kindly drop it in the comment section. I'll be glad to answer them. All right, that's all for tonight. Bye.